Bias News Prime Time. For the 20th year running, Prisma Health is coming to the support of stroke survivors and caregivers across the Palmetto State. Overcoming the physical and mental obstacles that come following a stroke can certainly be difficult.
So the team at Prisma once again prepares to host its Retreat and Refresh Stroke Camp, a time for attendees to learn, interact, and become empowered. Here to tell us more about what the camp has to offer is Dr. Forrest Lowe and Helen Brooks. Thank you both so much for taking time and being with us here tonight.
Yeah, sure. Prisma Health collaborates with the United Stroke Alliance, and the stroke camp is taking place the end of April. May is stroke month, so we try to do things as close to there as possible. And it's an opportunity really for Prisma Health employees and staff members to help support stroke survivors. So they can come with their family members, their friends, and it's a whole weekend where they don't have to cook, they don't have to clean up, they can fish, they can strum a drum, they can strum a guitar, they can do all that kind of stuff. We do some pampering, and they do a craft and a lot of circle work. So it's an opportunity for them across the state to be able to see each other and not feel any blocks at all. Like, you know, everybody's just everybody, and we just do everything together. So it's really a great time.
Yeah, a great sense of community there. And of course, stroke awareness, I think, very important. You're hearing more and more about stroke risk heightening, you know, as time goes on here. What do people need to keep in mind when it comes to strokes, not only in prevention, but also in recovery?
Well, in terms of prevention, we need to look at the primary causes like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, and really following closely with your primary care doctor to manage those comorbidities that can lead to a stroke. In terms of prevention, it's very important to follow those guidelines, but the most important part is being able to recognize stroke early on. So there's an acronym called BFAST, B-E-F-A-S-T, and what it stands for is basically balance. So if you have an acute onset of an inability to walk, that could be a sign. So if your vision is all of a sudden affected, you lose the ability to see, or your visual acuity changes rapidly, also something to look out for. Facial droop for F. Asymmetry of somebody's face that happens all of a sudden may definitely indicate they're having a stroke. A is for arm, so weakness in any limb in the arm, the leg, or one side of the body, also a very important sign to look out for. S is for speech, so an inability to talk or to understand that all of a sudden comes on. And then T is for time to call 911. The faster we get patients into the ER to see physicians, the faster we can intervene and decrease the morbidity and mortality from stroke.
Absolutely, just being aware, like you said, can play a huge part in saving someone's life. And this retreat is something that is, I don't feel like it's very common. And what is kind of the feedback you've heard from people who have been there, people who have experienced it? What are they telling you guys about the impact?
I think the biggest thing for them is they keep coming back. So we like that a lot. And just to know that a system cares about them enough to provide them with a weekend of attention and just rest, not just for themselves, but for whoever could be their caregiver or their friend, to also be able to meet and collaborate with other people. And sometimes, you know, you can do it in your local area in a support group, but to be able to look at it across the system, we have all ages from 18 up to 80. Going to it. So that's also a good opportunity to see how everybody manages life in a new situation. So it's exciting.
Yes, absolutely. It's important for people to know that, number one, they're not alone. Number two, that there is help available to help them cope and to recover and rehabilitate. But we do have some information here as we have the Retreat and Refresh Stroke Camp coming up. It's happening on Friday, April 26th through the 28th. It's happening at Gravatt Camp and Conference Center. Stroke Camp is celebrating 20 years, as we mentioned, and survivors and caregivers will be there for a powerful time for those who are recovering after a stroke.
Quick question too about how can people, do they sign up? How do they go to the camp?
I think that some information is going to be on your website.
Perfect.
But they would sign up. There's a QRS code there. They can sign up, and we're also helping some people. We have scholarships available, so we don't want cost to ever inhibit anybody from going. So our collaboration with the United Stroke Alliance as well as Prisma Health, we're offsetting any costs that they might have, and we are providing some transportation as well through our PACE program at Prisma Health. They're assisting with some of that, because again, we want people to feel like they can come and not, you know, it's too far to drive or it's too much money or any of that at all. And good news, you don't have to cook. There's your
Yeah.
chef on
Absolutely.
camp, so
Probably good.
Everything
That's good
handled.
news.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
there's more information on our website, wistv.com. Thank you both so much for being here and sharing this
Thank you.
information with us. We'll be back after this quick break.
Thanks.
A lot to the bath fitted difference.
Our one-piece wall is the leader in the